Behold, the legendary tale of Oba Adegoroye, a king tormented by the curse of barrenness, and his faithful journey into the heart of Igbo Àìwọ, the forbidden forest, where he must confront the mysterious deity known only as EBORA in Igbo, in a desperate quest for an heir to secure his throne and legacy. A long time ago, in a town called Ajero in Yoruba land, there lived a kind and respected king named Oba Adegoroye. Everyone in the kingdom loved him because he ruled with wisdom, peace, and fairness. He was the type of king that helped the poor, listened to his chiefs, and settled matters calmly. Oba Adegoroye had two wives. The first wife, Olori Amoke, was known for her strength and intelligence. The second wife, Olori Adesuwa, was younger and quiet, but also very respectful and caring. For many years, the king had no child. He tried everything possible. He visited herbalists, consulted priests, and even made sacrifices to the gods. Still, his wives remained without children. This made him very sad. The palace became quiet. There was no child to call him father, no child to inherit the throne when he gets old. As time went on, people in the town began to talk. Why has the king not had a child? Is something wrong with him? Are the queens cursed? The villagers whispered. Even the king's own mother insulted the queens openly. The queens cried often. The king was always deep in thoughts. He stopped laughing like before. Even his chiefs began to worry. One day, Oba Adegoroye called a meeting in the palace. All his chiefs gathered. The palace was quiet as he stood and spoke. My chiefs, my heart is heavy. For years I have tried to find a solution. I have done everything Ifa told us. Still, I have no child. What else can I do? The room was silent. No one had an idea what to say. But after some time, one of his most trusted chiefs, Chief Otun, stood up and said, Kabiyesi, maybe Ifa is testing your patience. Let us go to Ifa one more time. Let's not give up yet. The king nodded slowly. Call the Oluawo, he said. Let him consult Ifa again. This must be the last time. Later that evening, the chief priest, known as Oluawo, came to the palace. He had white chalk on his face and carried a bag of divination tools. He sat on the palace floor and chanted for a while. Then began the process of consulting Ifa, the Yoruba oracle. After about an hour, Oluawo looked up. His eyes looked serious. Kabiyesi, Ifa has spoken. A stranger will soon enter this town. His name will be Ajoji. When he comes, welcome him with open arms. Take care of him. That stranger will show you the way. The king was confused. A stranger? Yes, Oluawo said. That man will help you, but be careful how you treat him. He may not look important, but he is. Oba Adegoroye thanked the priest. He asked his servant to prepare gifts and rooms in case a visitor comes. Days passed. Nothing happened. 1 week, then 2. Still no stranger. The king became worried again. But then something happened. One cool morning, while the sun was just rising, a strange old man arrived at the palace gates. He had grey hair, a long staff, and wore simple clothes. He looked poor but carried himself with confidence. The palace guards stopped him. "Who are you, old man?" He replied calmly, "My name is Ajoji, meaning a stranger. I have come to speak with the king." As soon as the guards heard the name, they rushed to the king. "Kábíyèsí, Kábíyèsí, Ajoji is here." Oba Adegoroye stood up in surprise. He rushed outside and welcomed the man with great respect. "You are welcome, Ajoji. Please come inside." He ordered that Ajoji be given food, clothes, and a place to rest. After Ajoji had eaten and rested, the king sat with him. "Please, stranger, tell me what I must do. I have no child, and my people are beginning to lose hope." Ajoji smiled and spoke gently. "Kábíyèsí, your solution is not here in this palace. You must go to a place called Igbo Àìwọ, the forbidden forest." The king's eyes widened. "That place, but everyone who enters there dies." Ajoji nodded slowly. "Yes, it is a dangerous journey, but inside the forest lives a powerful being called EBORA, the deity of the forest. He guards an ancient fish. That fish is what you need. You must bring it back within 7 days." The king's heart beat faster. "What if I fail?" "Then you will not return," Ajoji replied. "But I will give you protection. I will fortify you with spiritual power to survive what others cannot." The king called his queens. He told them about the journey. "Please, my king," Olori Amoke begged, "do not go. Let us find another way." Olori Adesuwa cried, but Oba Adegoroye shook his head. "What is the use of a king without a child? Even my people now mock me. I must go." That night, Ajoji gave him a special charm, rubbed some herbs on his body, and gave him instructions. Before dawn, Oba Adegoroye wore his warrior clothes and left the palace. He walked for hours through bush paths. Birds cried loudly. The wind was strong. The deeper he entered, the stranger the forest became. Trees whispered, shadows moved. The forest was dark, even though it was daytime. The deeper he went, the more he felt he was being watched. On the second day, he met wild animals. A giant leopard attacked him, but he used the charm Ajoji gave him to defeat it. On the third day, he saw strange spirits dancing in circles. They tried to confuse him with songs, but he closed his ears and continued. On the fourth night, he came to a river. As the king reached a river, a beautiful woman rose from the water. She had glowing skin, long hair, and eyes that sparkled like stars. "Kábíyèsí," she said in a sweet voice, "I know why you are here. You want a child." Oba Adegoroye was surprised. "How do you know that?" The woman smiled. "Because I am a river goddess. I can give you what you seek. Just lie with me tonight, and by morning your wives will both be pregnant." The king looked at her. She was beautiful, and the offer sounded easy, but something didn't feel right. "If truly you want to help me," he said, "why must I sleep with you?" She laughed softly. "That is the price, or turn back now and remain childless." The king paused. He thought about his queens, about his people, about his crown. Then he turned away. "No, I will not take that path. I must go forward." The goddess screamed in anger and vanished into the water. As he continued, he felt the forest growing darker and colder, but now it was close. He could feel it. By the fifth day, Oba Adegoroye had gone deeper into the forest than anyone from Ajero kingdom had ever dared. The trees in Igbo Àìwọ were now huge and twisted. Their branches looked like arms reaching out to grab him. Strange animals made sounds he had never heard before. Some laughed like humans, some cried like babies. He walked carefully, watching every step. Suddenly, the ground beneath him began to shake. From behind a tree, a huge creature with three heads appeared. Each head had sharp teeth and eyes that glowed red in it, roared and charged at him. The king quickly brought out the protective charm Ajoji had given him. He shouted the sacred words the stranger had taught him. A bright light came from the charm, and the beast stopped. It screamed and ran back into the forest. The king fell on his knees, breathing hard. What kind of forest is this? He said to himself. He continued walking. He saw trees bleeding, birds speaking in human voices, and snakes walking upright. But he didn't stop. He knew he was getting close. At the end of the sixth day, he reached a huge stone gate with ancient carvings. In front of it stood a tall figure in black, holding a long staff. "You have come far, Oba Adegoroye," the figure said. "EBORA is waiting for you." The king nodded and entered the gate. The air inside the sacred area was colder than the ice. It was silent, too silent, even the wind did not blow. Inside a large open circle stood EBORA, the deity of the forbidden forest. He was tall, glowing faintly with eyes that shined like fire. His body was covered in marks and ancient symbols. His voice sounded like thunder, mixed with a whisper. "Oba of Ajero," EBORA said, "I know why you are here, but nothing in this world comes for free." The king bowed his head and knelt. "Great EBORA, I beg you, I have no child. My people are losing faith. I am ready to do anything." EBORA didn't move. "Then you must solve a riddle. You have 3 chances. If you fail, you will remain here forever." Oba Adegoroye's heart pounded, but he nodded. "I am ready." EBORA stepped forward and spoke. "I never was. I am always to be. No one has ever saw me, nor ever will. I am the hope of all who live and breathe. What am I?" The king thought deeply. He had never heard of this kind of riddle before. "Is it time?" he said slowly. EBORA shook his head. "Wrong. 2 more tries." The king looked confused. He closed his eyes and tried again. "Is it death?" EBORA raised one hand. "Wrong. 1 more try." The king began to sweat. He looked at the forest around him. He remembered what Ajoji said. If he failed, he would never return. He sat on the ground and whispered to himself, "If I don't get back by tomorrow, it will be the 7th day. I must get the fish before tomorrow." Then his eyes widened. He stood up. "The answer is tomorrow." EBORA paused. Then he smiled. "Correct. You are wiser than you look." Suddenly, the ground opened. A small glowing pond appeared. Inside the pond was a strange golden fish with red eyes and shining scales. EBORA pointed. "Take the ancient fish, but remember, this gift comes with a cost in the future. Your joy will come, but so will a great challenge." Before the king could ask any question, EBORA raised his hand and everything went dark. Oba Adegoroye opened his eyes and found himself standing at the palace gate, holding the glowing fish. The guards screamed in shock. "The king is back! The king is back!" Drums began to beat across Ajero town. The people rushed out of their homes, cheering and shouting. The queens ran out with tears in their eyes. "Kabiyesi, you are alive." Oba Adegoroye went straight to his throne room and asked for Ajoji, the stranger. The old man came smiling. "You have done well," he said. "Now prepare the fish." The king called his queens, Olori Amoke, Olori Adesuwa. "Go and prepare this fish. We must eat it together tonight." They cooked the fish with sacred herbs. That night, the king shared a bed first with Olori Amoke, then with Olori Adesuwa, just as Ajoji had instructed. Ajoji watched them from a distance, then walked out of the palace. Nobody saw where he went. By morning, Ajoji had vanished from the town. One full moon passed. Both Olori Amoke and Olori Adesuwa began to notice changes. They felt weak. They couldn't eat much. The palace priest confirmed it. "Kabiyesi, both your queens are pregnant." Oba Adegoroye was filled with joy. He danced in front of the shrine. The whole town celebrated. Villagers brought gifts. Drummers played music from morning till night. The palace was full of life again. On the 9th month, something strange happened. Both queens went into labor at the same time. Shouts filled the palace. They are both giving birth. At the same hour, 2 baby boys were born, one from each queen. The town had never seen anything like it. The babies cried at the same time. They had birthmarks shaped like moons on their backs. The villagers called it a sign from the gods. Oba Adegoroye declared a 3-day festival in Ajero. There was food, music, and prayers. "My throne is secure," he said happily. But that night, while he was sleeping, something strange happened again. Oba Adegoroye had a dream. In the dream, he was standing in Igbo Àìwọ again. The trees were burning. The sky was dark. From the smoke, EBORA appeared. "Oba," he said, "you have received your children, but you must be very careful." The king looked worried. "What do you mean?" EBORA's voice became louder. "The children are born under the same star and the same hour. They will grow to be powerful, but one will try to take everything from the other. Blood will touch the crown, and your peace may be destroyed if you don't act wisely." Oba Adegoroye woke up sweating. He looked at the 2 baby boys sleeping peacefully beside their mothers. "What have I done?" he whispered. He called the palace priest early in the next morning to help interpret the dream, but even the priest was confused. The only advice he gave was, "Watch over the boys, raise them with truth, and never let envy grow between them." Oba Adegoroye began to feel afraid. The same blessing he had waited so long for might now bring trouble to his throne. This is the end of part 1. Watch out for part 2. Kindly like, share, and comment for the next parts. This is Yoruba Passage.